Today I'm going to show you two devices that I bought to make it a little easier to hold circuit boards. And they're stuff that I bought just to make my life easier. And again, I purchased them. This is not a sponsored video, and I don't endorse any particular products in this video. So I just want to make that clear, and I'll tell you the dislikes that I have of each of the products and why I bought them and what I like about them too. So let's get started on why I bought them. Well, I bought them because I like tools. That's my problem there. I got a weak spot for tools, but more than anything, I got tired of trying to solder a circuit board, and as you can see, that board's moving. So I have to use both hands if I'm going to solder it. That's not always ideal whatsoever. So I wanted to be able to use one hand in case I had to feed solder in or whatever. So I'll show you the first product that I have, and I'll show you what I dislike about it and like about it. So that's this circuit board holder here. And with this, you can adjust this to slide across the track. So if we open this here, this will slide across the track. And that enables you to pick different sizes of circuit boards. So let's get started on it. And there's a spring here. Now that's right now locked. So let's open this up. There's another adjustment. That's what I don't like. There's a lot of adjustments on this. So you got to play around with it and get it just right. So let's put the circuit board in. And as you can see, it's all not that easy. And you got to tighten this one up first, one of the legs. Then move the other one with the spring towards it. You got to make them really tight or they'll slowly slide loose. So the circuit board will fit in this notch. I'm going to compress the spring as much as I can. Tighten this up. And I think that's pretty tight. And then tighten this one up. As you can see, the spring loosened already. So it slid a little bit, but it's still pretty tight. So if I were to solder, it still is pretty good. And what I do like about this is you can spin and work on the other side. Now the spring does get stuck on this particular unit. I can go the other way. Now it didn't get stuck that way. So that's a little bit of a dislike. As you can see, it's a little fiddly with the spring. But again, you can spin the board around, and that's a nice thing on it. But again, that spring loosens, and it does still slide around a little bit, the board. So there is a little bit of play because it's just kind of holding it in with that spring. And the other thing I don't like about this is, as you can see, it's pretty high up off of the table. So it actually is too high for the microscope stand. And that's a problem because my microscope doesn't go that high up towards the circuit board. So I wanted to get something that was a little lower down and a little more stable and less fiddly than this thing. So I'll show you the next thing that I got. This item's basically a steel plate and with these magnetic things on it that anchor on pretty good, and then you also have a pull down, as you can see, so that there's a you can put something in and wedge it in, and these can go through screw holes here. So that's something that that's kind of cool. And I would say if you get something like this, just be careful with these because there's different heights of these. Some cheaper ones are not as high up. And if you have capacitors on the bottom side of the board, they may not clear. So you want to get, I like this one because it gave me enough space to clear transformers and capacitors. So my microscope base is about that size. So I did have to modify this steel plate a little bit that these magnets sit on. And I'll show you on the bottom side. It does come with these rubber feet that you stick on when you get it. My microscope base is about that size, so it just sat on there metal on metal, and it kind of was a little bit flimsy. So I just had to add that extra rubber and now it's fine for that. So a little modification just for what I use it for. And the height's not bad for the microscope. It still has a pretty good clearance for both of my microscopes that I have, which is good. So, and I like this because you can use the screw hole ones, which, and again, they're magnetic, so they easily move around on the board. And let's move it, push these through the screw hole. And boom, it's tight. It's very tight on all directions. So if you were to solder here, you can really crank down on it. You could go here and you got both hands free. Kind of nice with that. And then alternately, you can take these and push the board through these if it's an irregular size board or doesn't have screw holes. You can kind of wedge it in these spring clips on these particular posts. And again, they're magnetic, so they move around, which makes it really cool. And now this is not going to hold it in as tight because they're just, but it's not bad. As you can see, it's actually tighter than the other piece. And again, it's holding it in quite well. So you can here just see what it looks like. So let's show you what else this comes with, and let's comes with some other pieces. I'm not sure what I would use this for, but I thought it wouldn't be bad to have it. This is a little vise that's magnetic that clips on, so you could hold something else on it, and that is on a magnetic base. And it also has two helping actually this had 4 helping hands, but I'm just going to put 2 on because you'll get the idea. I'm not going to go crazy trying to demonstrate this. And they're adjustable as well as magnetic. So if you were to try to solder 2 wires together, and we're going to try to do this here, just a quick example. And this might not be the best example, but we could have it hold these 2 wires relatively close together. So that's kind of cool. You get a little bit of both worlds. It holds on the board and some helping hands, and just frees up your hands so that you can use the soldering iron and solder. And it just kind of makes life a little simpler. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think. And again, none of this is sponsored. Like I said, what I dislike about this is if you have a surface that's smaller, you have to put that extra padding down, like feet, if you want to call it that. But other than that, and it's not terribly big either, so that could be a drawback if you're dealing with a bigger board. But it's just, just one of the things that you got to deal with on it. But the other one isn't big either. And I would assume if you have a bigger board, you're probably just going to sit it on the mat. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video and want more like it, subscribe. And thanks for watching.